Hi guys, excuse the trashy backdrop. Probably have grinding sounds from out that window. But post UFC 229, I was just done watching the post fight press conference, and I'm gonna break down the card. So main event: Habib Nurmagomedov, Conor McGregor. Co-main: Tony Ferguson, Anthony Pettis, and then the rest of the main card was light heavyweight: Ovin St. Preux, Dominic Reyes, Derek Lewis, Alexander Volkov, Michelle Watterson, and Felice Herrick, women's strawweight, right? So, the whole card was filled with top 10 ranked fighters except Dominic Reyes. He was ranked 12th before his fight. Everybody else was in the top 10 of their division. This card was stacked, guys. Fucking stacked, okay? Um, so, Michelle Watterson, Felice Herrick. We'll start from like the bottom up, right? Because there's a fuckload to break down the main event. So Michelle Watterson, Felice Herrick. I didn't watch the fight, but the Karate Hottie won round 3 decision. I don't know her performance, but I would think she did pretty well. I mean, the both of them are pretty good on the mic and interviews and stuff. I started watching at the heavyweight, so Derek Lewis, Alexander Volkov. Now this was a fight that was like Alexander Volkov has the output, right? So he throws his jabs, distance, and then Derek Lewis has that one punch knockout power that I would probably think almost every heavyweight has, but like Derek Lewis has that power throughout all his fights. This fight he ended it, I think 11 seconds before the final bell. Left jab, overhand right, knocked Volkov's mouthpiece out his fucking face, man. And then he took his pants off, like, post fight. And then Joe Rogan asked him, like, why did you take your pants off? He's like, oh, my balls are getting hot, man. Like, Derek Lewis, the Beast UFC, if I'm not wrong. Let me just check his Instagram handle. The guy is a funny guy. He has one of the best UFC fighter Instagram accounts that I know of, at least. Let me just confirm this real quick. But the fight was pretty good. He was fighting, or he has been fighting with a bad back. So I think like his L5, L6 or something has been giving him issues for the longest time, and he's been able to hold his own against he's been able to hold his own against generally the whole heavyweight division. I mean, he's ranked, like, he's the number one contender for the title now, if I'm not wrong. The Beast at the Beast UFC on Instagram, follow him, funny as fuck. Derek Lewis, his knockout, like, you don't see it coming. Right, you would think that a heavyweight that big would probably get gassed by the third round and not have that kind of knockout power, but apparently he has it. So, yeah, I hope whoever's watching this watch the fight. It was very, very good. Next fight, light heavyweight, OSP, Ovin St. Preux. 2 or 3 Von Flue chokes in the UFC, which is kind of like a shoulder choke from the top. Probably the only guy, he has more Von Flue chokes than the guy that created the Von Flue choke, Jason Von Flue, right? And he was fighting ranked number 12 in light heavyweight division, Dominic Reyes. Undefeated though, he's like 9-0 if I'm not wrong before the fight. Could be 10-0, now 11-0. I could be wrong, I don't know. But Dominic Reyes, like he was gonna get tested, and as Joe Rogan put it, right, like everybody expected him to get tested, and he passed with flying colors. Cause no, Ovin St. Preux is like, he's not someone you want to fuck around with. He's like 35 or something, or like, if I'm not wrong. And like the both of them used to be from the NFL or some shit like that. Like they were just athletes that didn't make it to the big leagues, and then they transitioned into MMA. So they're monsters. Like, they're just athletes from I don't know how old, but monster fight. Dominic Reyes has a gas tank, man. He went 3 hard rounds, decision victory, but very very good fight. He tested Ovin's St. Preux a couple of times, I would say. Accurate puncher, that's for sure. Now moving up the light heavyweight ladder, so I think he's pretty good. He holds his own pretty well, decent skills on the mic. Definitely not Conor McGregor level. Light heavyweight co-main event. So the former interim champion Tony Ferguson got his title stripped because he tripped and fell on a wire, and his ACL, if I'm not wrong, detached from the bone. That was 6 months ago. Fighting Anthony Showtime Pettis. If Showtime is like Anthony Showtime Pettis is like, everyone has seen that highlight reel. Like, he jumps off the cage and swings his leg and knocks the guy out. Everyone has seen that highlight reel, whether they know it or not. If I played it, you probably know, like, oh, it's that guy, yeah. Just search Anthony Pettis, probably top highlight or some shit like that. But Tony Ferguson, man, the guy is a fucking monster. So I've recently started jiu-jitsu, right? And so I kinda follow jiu-jitsu guys a bit more. And Tony Ferguson is a 10 Planet guy under Eddie Bravo. But the dude is a machine, dude. Like, apparently according to Eddie Bravo, he can train 6-hour days. I go to jiu-jitsu like 4 times, maybe 5 times a week. I feel sore like a motherfucker. Right? But this guy can go 6-hour days, like fucking train like a monster. So he's... And this fight really showed his conditioning. Like, he pressured throughout the whole of the first round. Like, he just went straight up. But fight of the night, man. Like, Dana White announced that this fight was fight of the night because Warriors, they like the both of them straight up savages. Okay, Anthony Pettis got Tony Ferguson rocked at the start of the second round. Right, and he was in open guard and he literally looked up and shouted, and his face was busted up from an elbow or some shit like that. He got his face, like he had a cut like on the hairline ish, like here ish, I think. And then so that was bleeding down his face. And then when Tony Ferguson recovered and shot like close range clinched elbow, the elbow cut him here. So like his face was literally just all blood. But you could tell that the both of them really, really wanted to fight. Like, they put on a fucking show. Like, Tony Ferguson, El Kukui, right? Boogeyman. He is... The smile that he had from the fight, like, it's the kind of smile that when you see it, you know. And like your fucking hair, like you get goosebumps and shit. Cause it's like he wants to be in that cage. He doesn't want to be anywhere else. He loves the training. He loves everything about the sport, right? He really, really wants to be there. Like, the both of them were smiling even though they were getting fucked up. They were like, both fighters wanted to fight. And it's kind of like what Teddy Atlas said on Joe Rogan's podcast. So Mike Tyson was gifted. I don't really know his record, but I know he has 5 losses. And according to Teddy Atlas, right, he was such a gifted athlete but he was not a fighter. Because fighters, the fundamental element that a fighter needs is to fight. And what that means is they need to be able to power through adversity. So this is like, so apparently according to Teddy Atlas, not me, I mean like Mike Tyson will probably fuck me up. But Teddy Atlas said that Mike Tyson faced adversity 5 times and he lost all 5. So according to Teddy Atlas, however many wins he had, he was not really tested, and the 5 times that he was tested, he lost, which he feels don't make Mike Tyson a fighter. Tony Ferguson though, the past year he's been out. He was scheduled to fight Khabib, I think 3 times or 4 times, and then Khabib almost died making weight, yada yada. Then Ferguson snapped his ACL off the bone, and he was like, "Fuck you guys, I'm just gonna do my own recovery." By fuck you guys, I mean like the doctors and stuff. I'm just gonna do my own recovery. He's a bit weird on the mic, like he's a weird character, but he got his he recovered his body in 5 months when the doctors told him that it would take at least like 9 months to a year or some shit like that. And he came out in like today's fight, he came out in like dominating fashion, you know, like pressure, distance management. His movement's a bit weird, like he switches his stance and then like when he's moving his head, he kind of just stops and then like so I think Anthony Pettis did not have the answer to. I mean, obviously he did not have the answer. He broke his arm and his coach called the fight off. Like he broke his hand. So the coach, Anthony Pettis' coach called the fight off. So second round TKO victory, but definitely fight of the night. I mean, if he made it to the third round, somebody was gonna get choked or put to sleep for sure. By the time they were done, like in the second round, they were all covered in blood. Like both of them were just covered in blood. That was like a fucking war zone in there. And now, the main event of the evening. Khabib corner. Okay, let me break this down, right? So much shit happened because, like, leading up to this fight. Conor threw a dolly through the bus window that Khabib was in. Spent a couple $1 million resolving that issue. Bad blood, just bad blood. Cause apparently Khabib and his team slapped Artem Lobov, which is Conor McGregor's like best friend and training partner at Straight Blast Ireland. So that led to the dolly being thrown, and so this fight was made, right? Obviously. Made sense, but legitimate bad blood. What the fuck actually happened though was like everyone, I don't think it was a very entertaining fight. Khabib does what he normally does, right? Like he takes the guy down, ground and pounds him a bit, like just tries to wear him out. I think Conor McGregor did a very, very good job with he has a lot better ground game now. So Conor McGregor has Marcelo Garcia black belt, Dylan Dennis as his jiu-jitsu instructor. Dylan Dennis is arguably one of the best grapplers, and he's really, really young. He's not fighting for Bellator, but he's really young. One of Marcelo Garcia's prodigies, I would say. Right. So Conor obviously would have worked on his jiu-jitsu a lot because Khabib's a known wrestler. He doesn't really stand and bang. So the fight, So the fight went pretty okay. Khabib put Conor in a rear naked choke that looked more like a neck crank, like a jaw crank rear naked choke type thing. I'm not sure if I can pull an image up, but let me try. UFC 229 images. I'm not sure if they have images up yet though. RNC. Where the fuck? MMA fighting should have it, right? They don't even have a fucking picture. What the fuck is this shit? Okay, no mind, I can't find the picture, so sorry guys. But basically, like, arm around the jaw, rear naked choke, cranked, and corner tapped. So first off, I'm a Conor McGregor fan, but I'm also a fight fan. My bias is obviously towards Conor McGregor because I like the guy. He talks shit and he sells fights. He's carried every press conference in the UFC against every opponent that he's had. With that said, we go into post-fight breakdown. Probably the most controversial shit that's going on right now. Everybody has probably seen the video. Conor McGregor lost and he was sitting like against the cage. And you know what the fuck happened? So Khabib threw his mouthpiece at Conor's camp, right? And then I think Dylan Dennis talked shit. So Dylan Dennis talking shit would probably be expected. I mean, they don't like each other. Like, their camps hate each other, okay? What happened next was that Khabib jumped out of the cage and jumped into the crowd and attacked Dylan Dennis. Dylan Dennis can hold his own. I don't doubt that. I mean, he's a fucking Marcelo Garcia black belt and he's fighting for Bellator. According to him, he's the highest paid fighter in Bellator right now. Right? I wouldn't know, obviously. What really pissed me the fuck off, right, was Khabib's teammate actually jumped back into the octagon and he started throwing shots at Conor from the back. So it was like really, for like it's a cheap shot, right? But like, why the fuck will you do it from the back? I mean, like, are you a cunt? I'm not calling anybody out. Any of them could probably fuck me up. But what the fuck, man? If you want to hit somebody, hit them from the fucking front, right? If you're not happy with them, what the fuck? So that really pissed me off. Because, once again, like, I need to put it out there that I'm a Conor McGregor fan. So first and foremost, my bias is towards Conor McGregor. For sure. But, so with that said, Khabib pre-fight press conference, when they announced the fight, Conor McGregor was promoting his proper number 12 whiskey. He was talking shit as usual. And after the press conference, Khabib came out of the area, and when he was interviewed, he said like he said something along the lines of like he doesn't like Conor McGregor because of the way he promotes himself. But the thing is, Conor McGregor's brand has always been this. Like, he has branded himself in like that, right? And that's why he's the biggest fighter in the fucking UFC. And then Khabib was saying like, oh, imagine imagine the children watching and the kids that look up to all these fighters that want to become fighters in the UFC. Like, they're using Conor McGregor as the benchmark, as an example, blah, blah, and this is not good for the sport. Honestly, I don't think jumping out the fucking octagon and jumping into another person's fight camp to start a fight with them or instigating a fight with them it's just fucking hypocritical, man. Okay? So you're talking about kids and you're talking about like, like Conor McGregor is disrespectful and stuff. Like, then don't do stupid shit like that, right? And then like I got riled up on that. Like, that was one of the main points that I got riled up on, was the way he carries himself. Like, he's this like holy man. Like, he's very religious. Like, the guy's I don't like, he's a Muslim from Russia, like Dagestan. So like, if you're gonna brand yourself like that, then don't do stupid shit that contradicts, you know, like, you all should get what I mean. So this was the first issue that I had with Khabib. Like, there's no such, there shouldn't be a, you shouldn't contradict yourself is what I'm trying to get at. And I mean, I get it. Like, Conor McGregor talks shit about, like, his religion, his country, but that's talk. He didn't fucking, I mean, like, it's their job to throw fists at each other, but he didn't do that because he wasn't paid to do that. He didn't jump out of the cage and go into the crowd and start fucking up, like, your teammates and stuff. So I think, like, the biggest fight in UFC history probably should have ended with Khabib carrying Conor off the ground, shaking his hand. Because as a Conor McGregor fan, I would have respected that. And I'm a fight fan, I don't really give a fuck, right? But I would have respected, I would have to at least give him the most basic amount of respect. Like, oh, okay, this guy's at least has the fucking sportsmanship. Guy, he's a class act, right? The dude's like a fucking rat, man. Like, he jumps out, his teammates come in, throw shots at Conor, grapples him. I don't know what the fuck they did. I'm defending Conor. It sounds like I'm defending Conor, but Conor didn't do shit. Like, he just stood there and he was like, I lost the fucking fight. I got punched a couple more times, like, whatever the fuck, I'm a fighter. I don't give a shit. So they got out of the arena. Okay. Three of Khabib's teammates got arrested and got sent to prison. Firstly, Conor McGregor didn't want to press charges, so apparently they were held, and the police went up to Conor McGregor and asked him if he wanted to press charges against them, and he was like, no, fuck that. Like, to him, it's not about the money. He has no time for all this petty shit. To him, like, he takes it as like, I fucking lost the fight. No two ways about it, I lost the fight. Which is why people like Conor McGregor, because he said it before that, like, he's I can't remember the word he used, but basically he has he's a good sportsman, right? He said he's gracious in victory and in defeat. And he has proven that. Whereas Khabib's like preaching like, oh, like weigh-ins, I think it was yesterday, right? Khabib went, like, said to the Irish fans like, oh, alhamdulillah, I know you guys don't like this shit, inshallah, all that kind of shit. Like, all these, I don't even give a fuck about your religion, right? You can say like God is great and whatever the fuck. I really don't give a shit. It's not about the religion. It's about how you brand yourself. You see, John Jones went from like a fucking cokehead, marijuana motherfucker. Oh no, okay, firstly, John Jones got caught for steroids, right? Then he came out to be this holy man that goes to church and thanks God and shit. The internet has a way of or the age that we live in, right? The internet has a way of showing people, for the transparency that it provides for people to see how fake you are. It's just there. Like, there's no way you can brand yourself as like this holy man that, like, whatever the fuck, and then like after that you snort cocaine, bang over a pregnant bitch, and then like run back, take your weed and run away again. That's what John Jones did. I still like John Jones. I think he's one of the best fighters, GOAT fighters. But that's in the cage. Whatever he does outside the cage, people still look up to him. UFC fighters still want to be him. Or like people that are growing up that want to be UFC fighters will probably still look up to him. And I don't blame them for that. Because he's talented. Could be the steroids, so I don't know. Okay, so which brings me to Conor McGregor decided not to press charges. According to Dana White, this was a post-fight press conference. With that being said, Dana White had, like, I don't know, I feel bad for Dana White, I feel bad for Conor McGregor, and I feel the most for Khabib, because he worked his whole life to get to this point, to get the belt, to be the undisputed, because the lightweight belt is the most disputed belt. He got his belt from the ranked 11 property agent El Iaquinta, right? The Raging Bull, I think he's called. And then he walks around and says he's the undisputed champion when like that guy stepped in. So he's not the undisputed champion, that's for fucking sure. What this also means is, like, how do I put it? It's the most controversial belt because Tony Ferguson didn't get a chance to defend his belt. He just had his interim belt stripped away from him from an injury that was the UFC's fault, to be honest. He tripped on a cable and his ACL tore off the bone. So, I don't know. I really don't know. Right? That's the UFC's problem. But this was the biggest fight in UFC history. Biggest. By far the biggest. No doubt about it. I was just disappointed with the way Khabib did things, right? I just think he's a fucking hypocrite, man. That's straight up. There's no way that you... Okay, so the post-fight press conference, Khabib actually came to the press conference. He didn't allow much questions to be asked. He apologized to the Nevada State Athletic Commission. He apologized to Vegas. And then again, he went on with his religion. And, okay, you see, the thing about me, I get really toxic when it comes to religion, right? But that's besides the point. He brings up that Conor McGregor talks about his dad, talks about his religion, talks about his country, talks about all these things. All these very... But Conor McGregor sells the fight. I mean, that's his job, is to sell the fight. That's his paycheck. Champions get pay-per-view points. Conor McGregor being the exception, but they get pay-per-view points. So their paycheck is directly affected by the pay-per-view numbers. But Khabib brought up that, like, oh, Conor talked about his dad, talked about his country, talked about his religion. But Conor never brought his religion up, if you notice, right? Like, he doesn't bring his religion up at all. I'm okay with fighters thanking God. Honestly, I think that's pretty fine. But, man, if you're gonna... You can't say that someone talks about your religion while fucking actively preaching your religion on stage, is what I'm trying to get at. Like, you're trying to brand yourself as a devout, whatever you are, and everything that you've done has proven otherwise. So that's fake, to me at least. To me, that's fake. With that being said, I really, really hope that if Khabib doesn't get stripped of his belt, I really, really hope that Tony Ferguson fights Khabib next. Something I'm really, really looking forward to, because they are both grapplers. Tony Ferguson, 10 Planet Jiu-Jitsu black belt. Khabib, Sambo wrestling guy, aka. I don't know, man. We'll see what the news is like later on this week. All the podcasts are gonna go crazy. I might do more of these breakdown videos for UFC fights if you all are interested. So let me know in the comments. Hit me up on Instagram. Yeah. I guess I'll see you all soon. Bye guys. Peace.